Hi, second graders. I hope you're having a great week so far. I am. In fact, I'm getting ready to start planting my vegetable garden, and that's always exciting. I'll have to take pictures of my progress that I'll be making. So let's begin on what we're going to study today. So we're going to continue using our book, Eugenie Clark, Shark Lady, but our lesson today is going to be cause and effect. Let's see what that means. Cause and effect. The cause is the reason. It's the why something happened. The effect is the result, like what happened. There's signal words like because, so, since, as a result, if, then, therefore, due to. Here you see, in fact, oh God goodness, I'm gonna be doing what she's doing. She's watering her plants, her flowers. That's the reason why she wants the effect to be beautiful flowers growing. So she waters them. There's that so again. Or the result of her watering the flowers is that the flowers grew to be big and beautiful. Let's now practice a little of this. So I'm gonna give you the cause, and I want you to think, what might be the effect of your milk being spilled? Think about that for a minute. Now, I'm not asking the why, I'm asking because, or the result of the milk being spilled, what? I didn't have any more milk. That's why I didn't have any more milk, was that the milk spilled. And that's the effect. Now let's try this. The effect is, this is therefore what happened, was I received a poor grade on my test. So now you have to come up with the cause. Why do you think I may have received a poor grade on my test? What might the reason be? I didn't study for the test, so therefore I received a poor grade on my test. Here's another one. I fell on the ground. That's the reason that something had to happen, the effect. So therefore, what might happen if you fall on the ground? Here's one effect. I needed a Band-Aid on my knee because I fell on the ground. See that word cause? Because it's spelled the same way, C-A-U-S-E, but because has a B-E in front of it. I left the bottom one out, and I want you to think if you can come up with your own cause and your own effect. Why don't you tell an adult in your house or a sister or brother what your cause and what your effect is. And then while you're working and having fun this week, when something happens, be thinking about what was the cause and what was the effect. Now let's practice it in our book. Remember, students, I want your eyes on the text and try to read it with me. That's so important. You can't become a better reader if you don't practice reading. Here we go. Track it with your eyes or some other method. Chapter 4, Setting Up a Lab. Eugenie traveled to different parts of the world to study fish. She wrote about her work and became a well-known scientist. Then she was asked to start a lab in Florida. The lab was a place where Eugenie and other scientists could study fish. There's a photograph. I'm looking at it. I'm noticing it says aquarium and it's got like a dolphin or something above it. And then I see a caption that's going to tell me about that photograph. It says, scientists study sea life at the Mote Marine Laboratory. Visitors can go to the aquarium there. Interesting. I used to live in Florida, so that'd be pretty cool. The next page, I see another real photograph, kind of a scary one, right? And the caption is, a diver watches a lemon shark swimming inside a cage. I guess it would make me feel a little bit better if I was on the outside, but I certainly wouldn't be in the inside of that cage with them. Let's continue to read. In the lab, Eugenie tested lemon sharks to see how smart they were. Eugenie trained the sharks to do things. The sharks learned to ring a bell to get food. Before this, people thought sharks were not very smart. Eugenie proved that sharks are smart after all. All right, let's practice our cause and effect. What was the effect of Eugenie training the sharks to do things? Like, what happened because Eugenie was training the sharks to do things? Look at your text. If you came up with this, remember the words in the question need to be in your answer. The effect of Eugenie training the sharks to do things was she proved that sharks are smart. Very good. Excellent. Let's try it again. That's a big shark, isn't it? My goodness. I think I'm going to read that. It's kind of like the facts page or a little box that tells you interesting information. And you see it's titled Great White Sharks. Why don't we read those? It says great white sharks can swim fast. These sharks have about, oh my goodness, 5,000 sharp teeth. I can't even imagine having that many teeth in your mouth, can you? And sharp at that. Great white sharks don't chew their food. They tear it off in chunks and gulp it down. Ooh, it just makes me scary reading it. Seals and sea lions are some of the sharks' favorite foods. They just kill them, even though they're pretty big themselves. All right. Oh, and there's another caption for that photograph. A diver studies a great white shark from the safety of a cage. That's the only way I'd want to be studying it. I still think I'd be terrified. Let's continue to read. Eugenie Clark says that she is not afraid of sharks. She is too interested in them to be scared. But she also says it's important to understand how sharks act. Eugenie used an underwater cage to study great white sharks. These sharks can be dangerous to people, but Eugenie studied them from inside the cage where she was safe. She observed the sharks and took pictures of them. All right, now we're flipped it around from the last page. We want to know the cause. What was the cause or the why of Eugenie using an underwater cage to study great white sharks? Why did she do that? Can you find it in the text? Okay, if you put something like the reason, the why, Eugenie used an underwater cage to study great white sharks is that the sharks can be dangerous to people. And it says that right on page 11, doesn't it? These sharks can be dangerous to people but Eugenie studied them from inside the cage where she was safe. Great job, boys and girls. I think you're getting it. When you talk in your natural conversation with your friends and family, see if you can point out what the cause and the effect is of things that happened to you today and things that you talk about. I will see you next time. Bye.